Meet Colo, the first gorilla ever born in captivity. She almost died at birth, but Colo is 4 months old and thriving now under the care of Mrs. Mildred Davis. At this stage, caring for Colo is just like caring for any baby, human or ape. They think and act pretty much alike, especially at mealtime. Papa, who resides in the Columbus Municipal Zoo, gets his first glimpse of Colo. Proud father is a little puzzled at baby's strange getup, courtesy of Mrs. Davis, wife of the zoo superintendent. But even in human clothes, you can see the family resemblance. Yes, Dad, that's your widow girl.
The zoo at that time, the Columbus Zoo at that time, was a good zoo, but it had a lot of work to be done to it. And Colo really was the heroine of the entire zoo, not just our zoo, but the zoological world. The interesting thing is when this first gorilla was born, nobody knew what to do. What should have been done if it had worked was leave Colo with her mom, but they took little Colo away and put her in the nursery. And you'll see all sorts of pictures of Colo with outfits on, dresses on, all sorts of things. And that's what was done back then with chimpanzees, all sorts of animals. That's not done today. And so these animals learn by observation. They learn by growing up with a family. And we had to learn this over the next 20-something years I was here at the zoo, because a lot of the baby gorillas that were born were taken to the nursery because, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to the gorilla? You know, it's so rare. We just can't let the male get a hold of it. We can't let the female drop it, or can't get it sick. Just isn't done anymore. We do everything in the world to make sure that gorillas raise their own family.
Well, Colo's kind of a unique gorilla. She's been with us for a long time, but she's also kind of a feisty one. We call her the queen or the princess around here. She pretty much calls the shots, and she can be quite feisty when you're trying to train her or get her to do anything she wants. Having been Colo's trainer for several years, actually it's more Colo trains me than I her.
So working with Colo, I would describe as an honor. She's, you know, of course she's famous in that she's the first gorilla born in a zoo. And, you know, I'm very proud of that. I'm very excited to say that I've worked with her. Working around her, I guess I shouldn't say that we worked around her, or we actually work for Colo when you work here at the Columbus Zoo. She's very funny because you'll try to be, you know, cleaning the other animals around her and whatnot, and she always gets your attention because one of her favorite things to do is when you're hosing, she likes to take a drink out of the hose. But what either she understands or just doesn't care is that when you're cleaning, you know, you need that hose so you can clean and get other animals fed, but she wants a drink, so she's constantly interrupting you. So that's honestly one of my greatest memories, is that no matter what you're doing, you need to understand that you need to stop, give Colo whatever she needs, whatever she wants, and then you can go back when she's ready for you to go back to your work. Because we'll be standing back there, and she'll come up to the log and sit, and the hose is just, you know, to the left of that wall, and she'll point at it. What you need, you know what I mean? She'll, were you born last night? You know, like, this is not new.
I think she knows when it's her birthday, kind of like this. There's already business going on. She is the only one pretty much in the gorilla area that gets a very big birthday party and gets plenty of presents to open and plenty of food put in there for her. And I think she sits there and anticipates it every year. When it starts to snow, I think she knows something good is happening.
She knows she's famous. Colo absolutely knows she's famous. And I think she knows when it's her birthday because a lot of activities start happening in the public area here at the zoo. Lots of cameras start to show up, different people start coming through, and literally about a week out, it's on, and she knows it. So right now, us filming this, the fact that she's sitting right here posing for us, she knows. I think she enjoys her birthday very, very much. You know, the doses do a great job. They get the colorful chains together, like paper chains, and she wears them as necklaces. You know, she gets the big fancy cake, she gets the happy birthday, she gets the presents, and she gets the people. So I think she really thrives on that.
Colo loves to have people watching her. She notices people. She especially enjoys hats. Colo has had worn hats. When she was first born, they used to dress her up in little pinafores and bonnets. Now, we don't give her hats anymore, but she enjoys when the public comes in and if someone's wearing a colorful or unusual hat, she draws attention to it right away. Sometimes we'll give her bowls, just for enrichment, and she will actually take those bowls and wear them like hats.
I think she does like to interact with the kids a little bit at the window. She really has gotten to the point now where I think it is fun for her to sit right up here by the window, and she'll put her hand up or fingers up, and little kids then do it. And I've seen her do it repeated and for a long enough time that I think Colo gets a lot from people, again, being very interested in her and wanting to come to the zoo to see her, because she is pretty much the most famous gorilla, hopefully most famous gorilla in the world.
The first time I met Colo, she actually threw something at me. I didn't want to share that story with anybody, but yes, she picked up some stuff, or defecation, that's a nice word, and threw it right at me. Yep, not just once, but you'd think I'd learn. I got hit in the head, face, back, clothes, everything else. I'd say a dozen times in 2 years, and finally, Jack, duh, you know. And not she didn't like me, she was messing with me. That's Colo. That's Colo with me. She likes to mess with me. She likes me, but she knows that she can mess with me.
Gorillas are very intelligent animals, and Colo proved that one day when a baby had accidentally dropped its plastic key rings that babies use to teeth on, dropped it into the habitat where Colo was. Colo abruptly picked it up, and of course we wanted to try to trade her that key ring for a treat. We do that with our gorillas so that they will give us back things they're not supposed to have. So we brought out many treats, and she finally settled on the treat that she wanted, but instead of just giving us the entire key ring, she actually opened up the key ring and traded one key at a time for a treat. She was smart enough to know that by doing that, she gets more treats than just handing it all over at once.
Some of my favorite Colo moments are her with the babies. And when I say that, it's not her in with the babies, but you know, we have all of this mesh where the gorillas can visit each other. And mid-afternoon, when you're a keeper in the back of the building, it's very quiet. You know, keepers are taking lunches, the gorillas are kind of taking that afternoon nap. It's just very peaceful. And I love coming in at that peaceful time of day and having Colo lay on her back, and one of the babies, little Nadami over here in Anaka's group, is my most recent memory, but Colo's laying on her back, and Nadami has her hands through the mesh and just playing on Colo's face and just touching, and Colo is laughing, and she's just so gently touching the babies. It is the sweetest moment, you know, because it's pure joy, you know, between the baby, and Colo truly likes it, you know, and I just think that is so cool to be a part of that and to see that type of relationship, because again, it's one of those things where nobody's watching, but you know, you kind of get that little snapshot. So that's probably my favorite.
She's now the oldest gorilla in the world, the first gorilla born in the world in a zoological situation, and also the Columbus Zoo was one of the first zoos in the world to have twin gorillas survive at the Columbus Zoo. So you take all those and the generations of gorillas, you can see what we have at the Columbus Zoo, and we're very proud of it. We work with a lot of zoos, by the way, throughout the country. Is it luck? Could be. Is it staff? Is it our keepers? Is it our people here? Yes, it's that too. It's everything added together. And she just is still got, she's a pistol. She has fire in her still. When I go over there, how you doing, Colo? She goes, you know, she plays with me, I think. She really does. And she is a very bright, to this day, and I know that anthropomorphic people say don't compare animals to people, but I will. Colo is still there, trust me. She knows exactly what's going on.
So Colo is the oldest gorilla in human care. She's 57. And of course, you know, as your animals get older, you know, you start thinking about health issues. To be honest, Colo is in phenomenal condition for her age. You know, she does have some arthritis in her hips and a little bit in her fingers. If you notice her fingers, you know, her pointer fingers are kind of, you know, not a little crooked. But other than that, and missing a few teeth, other than that, she's amazing. She can get up, she runs around, she's active, she's interactive. There's really nothing about her that would tell you that she is the oldest in a zoo. Again, as we move forward in zoos and animals do become older, we have to take a step back and look at our exhibits. and make modifications if need be. A few years ago, we noticed that Colo, she had a difficult time getting to like transfer doors and stuff. So we simply came up with a plan with our maintenance team, who's very talented, and they built ramps for them. So she has, the room that she's in most of the time, she's got ramps to help her, instead of having to pull herself, she can simply just walk up and go to the next room, which has been huge for her. We add these ropes called fire hoses, just fire hoses that she can balance on. That's been huge. So again, Colo does have a few teeth that are missing, but other than that, she gets the standard gorilla diet that we give to everybody else here. But some favorites of hers are, oddly enough, are the cucumber and the broccoli, whereas some of the other ones, they might like, berries or the sweet foods. Colo's more of a greens type of gal. She does like greens, lots of lettuces. I would have to say her favorite, though, is everybody gets juice throughout the day. And our older gorillas, they actually do get more juice because we found that it's better for their hearts. But Colo's favorite is grape juice or apple juice, or if you just happen to have it, a nice Gatorade makes her pretty happy too. So yeah, but no, she's in phenomenal shape. She truly is. Very, very proud of that here.
In a zoo setting, because animals tend to live a little bit longer, that poses a few extra challenges when creating a diet. Today, we are making Colo's cake for her 57th birthday, and with the recipe, we had to make a few substitutions to make it a little better for her. We are not using the refined sugars in the icings or the batter. We are using things like unsweetened applesauce and substituting that out. We use the whole wheat flour, the white whole wheat flour, instead of using the refined flours. Again, it's just naturally better for her to use those things. Our peanut butter, it's the natural peanut butter, so there are less sugars in that by itself and less fat. Yes, less fat. which weight, of course, is a consideration too, keeping her at a healthy body weight, healthy condition. And shredded carrot, that's a natural sweetness. So again, just to replace the refined sugars, we're using natural sweeteners. Another addition for flavor is our honey. So in years past, we've used a banana-based recipe for Colo's cake, and it's worked well. We're hoping the smell alone would entice her to investigate the cake. And this year, we're changing it up a little bit and doing a recipe called Peanut Butter Delight. So we've taken out the banana, and we're using more peanut butter. And we will be adding, again, some of our favorites on there. Like, I think peanuts are going to go on there this year, a couple fruits, and I think we'll have to put the tomatoes because she just loves tomatoes. So Colo is the queen, and I've heard that she can be a little choosy. So hopefully she will accept our change in recipe this year, and we'll have a chance to do it again next year for her birthday.
When our visitors spend time with Colo and the other gorillas at the zoo, they often experience a very deeply emotional connection. And that's understandable. In fact, the famous conservationist and researcher George Schaller, who was one of the first people to study gorillas in the wild in the 1960s, said that no one who looks into the eyes of a gorilla can remain unchanged. So people spend a lot of time with the gorillas, and during that time, our keepers and our educators and our volunteers have a chance to really share a lot of stories about the behavior of gorillas and their rich social lives and their individual personalities. And they also have an opportunity to make the connection between Colo and our gorillas at the zoo and their cousins in the wild, the western lowland gorillas that live in the Congo forests of Central Africa. And in the wild, western lowland gorillas are endangered. They're threatened because of habitat destruction, because of illegal hunting, and because of the illegal pet trade. So it's important for us to, in addition to talking about our gorillas, to make the connection with wild gorillas and let people know that they can help In fact, the zoo is very deeply involved in supporting on-the-ground efforts in Central Africa to protect wild gorillas.
So Colo is very special to not just Columbus, Ohio, the Columbus Zoo, the state of Ohio, this country, but really she's special to the animal world, actually to the animal world throughout the world, to all the animal world. This is the epitome of what I do. I mean, what I have done, and my wife will tell you as well. To sit with a family of gorillas in the wild, 28 to 40 in a family, from age of 2 weeks old to the age of someone in the wild, 30, 40 years old, not as old as Colo, but to sit there and watch these animals and watch how they interact, you go back and you go, oh man, this is amazing. And that's what it is at the Columbus Zoo and other zoos that have the gorilla. It's an amazing animal. And we're just so proud to have Colo here and celebrate her birthday.
We do take care of her very well, but I think she takes care of us as well, because I do enjoy coming to work every day to see Colo. It's one good way to start your day. It's nice to come in. And if she gives me a breeding call, that usually gives me an idea of how I look that day. If I look good or if I'm not looking good.
When you are born here at the Columbus Zoo or you are brought to the Columbus Zoo, you know that Colo gorilla is it, and everybody takes a backseat to that. So I don't think, I don't think that the other ones, I think they get it, basically flat out. And if not, she somewhere along the line has told them that this is the way it is and deal with it. It's all about me, definitely.
You know something, Colo? We got something in common. We're both over 50. How's that? Anyway, I want you to have a great birthday, because my birthday is right around yours, believe it or not. And I hope you and I have many more birthdays in years to come. Happy birthday to the first gorilla ever born in the zoological world.
I want to wish you, Colo, a happy birthday, and hopefully we can celebrate many more together. It's been a real honor to be able to work with you.
So happy birthday, Colo, and many happy returns.
I don't know what to say. It's kind of weird. So I don't know. I guess I just want to say happy birthday, Colo. We love you. And she doesn't care. She's like, lady. Yeah, she's like, there's no chains, there's no cake, and there's certainly not enough people. So you're lying. I love her so much.